What's it been like having banks closed for 3 weeks?
Well, listen, I've been so busy with work that I haven't been able to distract myself. I mean,
what do you do? Do you have
well,
cash
you feel
in
like
pocket?
a 12-year-old again, you know? You have your 60 euro allowance a day and you're like, okay, what do I do with it? Priorities, you know? So, you know, you have 20 euros for the cab and then 40 euros. It's just difficult. I mean, I was extremely angry for the first time in my life. I found myself really affected by a story I'm reporting on. And, you know, I'd be interviewing everyone and then I'd go for coffee and I'd start swearing at the waiter. And I want my money and I can't get it. It's difficult, you know. And me, again...
Because the shops can't get change either when they...
It's starting to, you know, so you're kind of negotiating with a cab driver and then you go get a coffee because Greece is a cash-based economy. It's not like in France where you just pay everything with your card. So I go for my coffee, it's like 2 euros. I was like, can I use the card? And they're looking at me. But, you know, there's an element of understanding. But again, I want to stress this, the difficult is not me or it's the pensioners, you know, who don't have cash cards, you know, and they need to queue in like the scorching heat outside the banks, which are open just for them. They need to figure out what bank to go to because not all banks are open and wait for their pension. And they don't get their entire pension. They get a fraction of it, 120 euros every week. So imagine an 82-year-old who has to queue in the heat to get, I mean, this is... They didn't if they were seeing this coming, they should have organized themselves better.
And what have 3 weeks of banks being closed done to the psyche of the Greeks?
Listen, I don't know about, if, you know, you've traveled to Greece, you know, they're like quite temperamental. I thought it was going to be chaos in the streets, and yet, no, they were patiently waiting. For the first time, I saw an orderly queue in Greece, you know, waiting outside the banks to get their cash, cracking jokes, you know, it was good, but they're fed up now, you know, they're like, their patience is, you know, they're losing it slowly. And especially with all this referendum, we're saying no to the austerity measures, but hey, Parliament says yes. So they're kind of like in limbo here, kind of confused.